How's it going, guys? In this episode, I'm going to talk about assault charges that happened in Honolulu about a week ago. And it was about this guy, Aukusitino Noga, 40, assaulted a Monalua High School associate athletic director, Natalie Iwamoto. Right? So let me just read this. It's old news already. It really is. It's old news, and you probably are updated with this. But I'm gonna try just read this article that came out about 5 days ago, and I'm also going to touch on something that happened on Maui because I have pretty close ties to a friend that is related to what happened on Maui. But first, I'm going to talk about the assault charges on Aukusitino Noga, 40, who is being charged with assault. So anyway, again, this has happened in Honolulu, the 12th of December, about 5 days ago today. So I'm going to read it. All right. So the attorney for a woman who was assaulted after a preseason high school basketball game says surveillance video shows how his client was attacked. All right. A surveillance camera in the parking lot outside the Monalua High School gym recorded the incident that happened last Thursday night when Aukusitino Noga, age 40, allegedly assaulted Monalua High School associate athletic director Natalie Iwamoto. Lal Hosoda said Iwamoto has dedicated over 20 years to student athletes and is highly regarded in the high school athletics community. Hosoda said Iwamoto was accompanying basketball referees to the parking lot when the incident happened. She felt that she should take them to their cars because of things that happened during the game, Hosoda said. The video appears to show the Nogas confronting Iwamoto and the referees as they were trying to leave. It shows the man identified as Noga punches Iwamoto as she walks backward away from him and falls over a small child. You see that the wife gets up and is pointing and is talking directly to Ms. Iwamoto. And then Mr. Noga, right here, he just punched her and she lands on the ground, Hosoda said as he watched the video. She was lying there over 10 minutes. According to Hosoda, Iwamoto was helped by the Monalua basketball team trainer and one of the referees, but remained unconscious. Meanwhile, the attacker stays on the scene until police arrive nearly 13 minutes later. Eventually, officers take the man into custody. Having watched it, it's horrific, said State School Superintendent Keith Hayashi. It's shocking to see an adult attack one of our employees like that. It has no place on the school campus or anywhere else. A spokesperson for the State Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation confirmed to Hawaii News Now that Noga is an adult corrections officer. Noga was arrested for second-degree assault and was banned from getting within 500 feet of the Monalua High School campus. Hayashi said the Hawaii Department of Education may be taking further action. There are consequences, so we are exploring the different array of consequences that will happen in the situation as well as others looking forward, Hayashi told HNN. A judge has already granted a no contact order keeping Noga away from Iwamoto and two witnesses. Okay, so you get the gist of what happened. Okay, so Noga is 40 years old. He's a pretty good sized guy. I'll show you a picture. I'll post it. Iwamoto is a female. This guy is like 40 years old, strong. He's a corrections officer. Now, if you're a corrections officer, they don't hire weak individuals. They might hire like short people or whatever, right? But most of the guys or women that work in there, they're not afraid. That's why they took the job. Now you can say, well, somebody can kick them around, they can beat them up, whatever. Anybody can beat anybody up. But the case I'm trying to make is he's a corrections officer. He should know better. He sees criminals every day when he goes to work. Criminals that did what he did. So my whole thing with this whole episode is the psychology behind people that do that. I'm going to go over it real quick. what is probably the psychology of Noga, okay? The psychology of a man assaulting a woman educator is complex, often rooted in power of dynamics, a lack of respect for authority, and social factors. The motivations can be a mixture of personal psychological issues and environmental influences, all right? Power of dynamics and control. The core of the assault often revolves around an abuse of the inherent power imbalance in an educator-student relationship. They're talking about student relationship, but we're talking about a guy who's an adult. So you can just turn that around and say, this guy's got a power thing over the educator. Maybe because he feels he's bigger, he's more superior, whatever. Okay, but let's just go over it. So the perpetrator may seek to assert dominance and control. That's what I was trying to say. Particularly if they perceive a weakness in the figure, which was the woman, Iwamoto, who's an authority figure. So what the definition is trying to say is that Noga probably has something against authority figures, and he doesn't want to be lessened by someone, especially a woman in authority, maybe. But he had some other issues going on, obviously, throughout this day at the basketball game. Challenging authority. Okay, this is talking about students. Okay, but anyway, basically, I'm just reading this right here. But basically, what his psychology is, he probably just has something against authority. All right. And maybe that's why he's working in the prison system, all right, as a prison correctional officer. And although he has orders from his superiors, he's in a place where it's kind of like where he's at. It's not like an animal type of thing. He's in a cage with animals, and that's his domain, possibly. I'm not saying that's real, but if something gets out of hand, he can use his stick. Somebody goes against him and his buddies can take the guy on the side and work him. And that's facts. That's what happens in prison. I have friends that were in prison, and that's what happens. So this guy, Noga, I'm not saying this is really what he's about, but possibly that's what his psychology is all about. He didn't like authorities. He didn't like the way things were going, possibly. I don't know. But that's his psychology, and that's very dangerous. That's a dangerous guy. For him to do that and hit a woman, are you kidding me? Okay, so now we're going to talk about what happened on Maui with the hit and run. All right, so this is what happened on Maui about a week ago, okay? Maui police arrested Kaleo Kubo, 31, the suspected driver behind a deadly head-on crash that killed Mason Pang, who was 19. Pang died from critical injuries sustained in the collision Wednesday morning on Haleakala Highway. That was about a week ago. A 32-year-old woman who was reportedly Kubo's passenger at the time was also injured in the crash. Police say Kubo fled the scene on foot after the crash and had been searching for him for days. The crash occurred around 12:15 a.m. when Kubo allegedly made a left turn from Old Haleakala Highway onto westbound Haleakala Highway, police said. On Monday, December 15th, Kubo was taken into police custody without incident. Okay, so what happened was this guy, Kaleo Kubo, this dude right here, hit and run and fatally killed Mason Pang, who was only 19 years old. And this was an uproar in the Maui community because stuff like this, it's like locals are not respecting locals. I mean, this kid's a local kid that killed a local kid. You would think, dude, what's going through your mind? You were at fault and you didn't stop to render aid. I mean, you're going to get in trouble no matter what. Now, I'm just looking at this guy, and I just look at him, and he needs God, man. This dude right here, Kaleo Kubo, I just look at his picture, and just his face, I can just tell he's got this thing, this mean spirit about him. And this is what's happening in the world, guys. It's getting really effed up. So let's take a look at what's possibly a guy like him, what's in his mind, all right? The psychology of a hit-and-run driver involves a mix of fear, impulsivity, personality traits, and external factors, often driven by panic, substance impairment, or lack of licensed insurance, leading to poor judgment and an attempt to avoid immediate legal or personal consequences like DUIs, fines, or deportation. Key drivers include panic, antisocial tendencies, low self control, lack of empathy, and situational factors like being uninsured, with underlying personality traits like impulsivity and narcissism often present, alongside cognitive biases that downplay the incident. Okay, there you go in a nutshell. So I'm not going to go too much into this guy, but imagine the family that lost the kid that died, and that is sad. That is really sad. So Mason Pang, 19, died because of a head-on crash caused by Kaleo Kubo. And God bless that kid that died. And also, I'm going to say this, God bless this kid, Kaleo Kubo, 31 years old. He's actually not a kid, he's a man. But I pray for his soul, man, because, man, he's got some repenting to do. And people like this are they're irresponsible. They cause hurt and pain to families. And this was an accident. Could have been prevented, possibly. I don't know what the cause was. I don't know if he was drunk or stoned or whatever, or talking to whoever on the phone. I don't know. When there's accidents like this, it can always be prevented. You go backtrack. Was he snapping? Was his mind, not even keel, And maybe he wasn't thinking straight, obviously, to run away like that from responsibility. So I just see lots of these things happening in the world these days. Just people who are irresponsible. They don't take responsibility. And it's like this TikTok, Instagram culture that we live in. And people are watching this. And there's got to be some study or some scientific, psychological fact that when people watch these other people beating up people just for fun, that's just insane. It's like they're animals. Cannibals, animals, crazy, psychotics. I mean, you watch sporting events. Some guy is just minding his own business. Maybe he's wearing a different jersey and he's a visitor, but he's cheering for his team, but he's not causing any trouble. But you got the guys in the back who are drunk and would pour something on the guy. And when the guy turns around, hey, what are you guys doing? And the guy's not a fighter. You can just look at the guy. Maybe he's older and he's got his wife with him, and they get beat up outside of the stadium. I mean, it's just crazy. Just crazy. I remember one time I was watching, where was I? Yeah, I was here on Maui a while back at a concert. All right? And I seen this. The guy in the front of me, he was like 5'7", and he told this guy off who was like 6 feet, this Polynesian dude. He told him what it is. And I'm thinking, number one, this dude in front of me that mouthed it off to the guy shouldn't have done that. Likewise, the Polynesian dude grabbed the dude and beat him up. And the guy really got his ass kicked. But at the same time, what that dude told the big Polynesian dude, again, I'm not trying not to use race or anything, but it's just kind of painting a picture. The dude who's bigger, I mean, the guy was a fighter, you could tell. But I don't know what got into this dude to be stupid to tell the guy off. And I don't blame the dude for like beating up the guy, but at the same time, the guy really went excessive on the dude. The guy was on the ground, he was like actually kicking him, and people had to stop it. And I just got away from there. I don't want to be like around that, right, and get killed. But people do stupid things, unwise things. Would I just mouth off to anybody? I mean, especially someone bigger than me that you get tattoos, and the guy's bigger than you. Or anybody. I would never mouth off to anybody, because I learned from, just taking like some self-defense stuff, and you never instigate anything, because, the smallest lady can lick you. Little does she knows how to fight or she may be psycho. She doesn't know how to fight, but she has something in her purse and she'll bring it out and she'll kill you. You know what I'm saying? So you never do that. You never test anybody out in public. You never know what they're going to do. You might mouth off to somebody like on the road or make fun of somebody. You never know what that person's going to do. That person might follow you home and cause havoc for you. Fact, right? So I don't know. People just get crazy. They do stupid things. Anyway, I'm out of here. That's all I had to say. You guys take care. God bless.